Hello, Adam. Here's your brake booster on the test machine. I'm going to go over a couple things before I crank up the machine because it makes so much noise. I'm going to test your brake light switch. Now, I had to put a copper washer in here to seal it. Ordinarily, these are this is supposed to be a tapered thread, so you just screw this thing in until it stops. It doesn't leak brake fluid, and you don't screw it in all the way like this one. So someone's been here before us and really crammed this thing in there. Anyway, this brake light switch does work, which I will show you by pumping up the, let's turn this on to continuity and noise, and I'll pump up the booster. Alright, we're making continuity and noise at about, this is our input right here. It looks like it's about 150 psi. Usually they come on around a little bit sooner than that, so your brake light switch is probably getting a little worn out, but I wouldn't worry about it. There we go. It wouldn't hurt to replace it, but if you don't, you still have brake lights. All right. Let's see, going over a few things. Stainless steel bleed screws. These in Mercedes-Benz Infinite Wisdom, they have decided to no longer supply new bleed screws, so I've got some stainless from the aftermarket. The new vacuum diaphragm inside. This is what your old one looks like. The lips had collapsed on it. I'm just going to recycle that and junk it unless you want it. Here's your installation parts right here. Clean these up for you. Replated everything. Cadmium plating on all the steel parts, including your vacuum check valve. Rebuilt it. Got all new hydraulics in here. This air filter assembly has been completely rebuilt with new parts internally. And it tests out great. This is about a 3.5 or 4 to 1, no, maybe 3.7 to 1 boost ratio. So we're going to see a difference in input and output pressure accordingly. But we'll start over here. The vacuum. Both gauges are going to go read the vacuum as supplied by my tester, and then when the booster is activated, this gauge is going to go to 0, and this gauge is reading off of this hose right here, which goes around to this fitting. So you can test your booster anytime you want. Just remove the fitting that's in here and hook up a vacuum gauge to it, and with the car running, apply your brakes, and as you apply the brakes, that gauge is going to go to 0. On this side, we've got our hydraulic. We've got the input. Both of these gauges are tied together, and this goes up, maxes out, and this reads final input as supplied by the test machine. Here's our output, both gauges tied together, and this gauge goes up, maxes out, and then this reads final output pressure. So this is going to be 3, almost 4 times multiple of what we have right here. So if we've got 350 here, we're looking at, let's see, 357, almost 1400, probably 12 in the 12 to 1300 psi range. At the same time the machine's running, we're going to check for leaks at our bleed screws, our fitting here, our joint right here, and over here we've got a bleed hole. This is the like the first line of defense. You've got a scraper seal inside here, and then you've got an O-ring that seals all the hydraulic from the vacuum, and then you've got another seal after that that actually separates vacuum and hydraulic. And so when this one starts to leak, the second of the 3 seals is failed, and you have one more to go, and you have to monitor this. So if it starts to leak, you need to probably get the booster resealed. Now then, before we start, I'm going to just activate the hydraulic portion and show that the booster is inert. When there's no vacuum applied to the booster, it's inert. So you got 350 in, 350 out, 350 out. and it's sliding down because my master cylinders on the test machine is weak. So if you ever lose vacuum, you never lose braking. All right, now I'm going to do the test. With a new diaphragm, we're pulling nice vacuum. Alright, now we're over here, we're going to activate the booster. The booster keeps sliding over, so I keep putting it back up. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to activate the booster. Here we're going to 0. Come over here. 350 in. 12, 1300 out. Now we're under pressure. I'm going to check for leaks. Don't have any. Got a good booster. So it looks like one continuous test. Got a good booster. You'll be able to hear the swish. Vacuum release. We're good. Thank you for sending it to me. Appreciate that.